morning, or good evening, good afternoon, depends on where you're watching from. So a little bit of story about the mess here we got on the bench. 440 Chrysler that we built, 500 cube stroker for a customer that he's been driving around for about a year, hasn't done many Ks, but developed a tappy sort of noise, so he shut it down straight away, pulled the motor and sent it over again to see what the trouble is. And we, pulling it apart, we've found that number 7, so we've got these fancy Morel solid roller lifters, but as you can see, that one, if the phone will focus, is broken off. So I knocked the pin out of this one just to see whether there's damage inside, but well, they call them an axle. People that talk about roller lifters call that an axle. And as you can see, knocking it out, if the phone will focus, you can just see a little crack mark there. I had it supported, but knocking the pin out's cracked the lifter. But that's okay. The lifter's not much good anyway. But what we've noticed on, this is number 5 cylinder. Sorry, I don't know if you could see, this is number 5 cylinder. You can see the axles. It's a bit hard to see, but the axles are in behind the snap ring on that one. But on this one, you can see the axles down below the snap ring there, and the dirty bastards coming out that side. Now I don't know why those axles would travel out like that. I'd love some opinions or comments. Perhaps there's people out there that build big block Chryslers with solid rollers that could shed some light, but as you can see, what's done the damage is the pins come out, and you can just see there on the lifter bore, the pins caught the block, of course, and blew the bottom of the lifter out. We did have some, to add a bit of, I don't know, context, I suppose. We did have some, if the phone will focus, end float in the cam. Upon disassembly, it wasn't really, well, there was too much end float, I think. I don't know how much is too much. So we did put a button in the front of the cam to try and limit it when we first built it, but we're going to have to come up with another idea. Perhaps get an alloy timing cover and weld a boss in it and put a screw to limit the cam infloat. But whether cam infloat will make them pins do that, or the axles do that in the roller lifters, I'm not sure. I don't know. Of course, we're not going to blame the lifters. A lot of people have mentioned they have a lot of problems, street cars with roller or needle bearings in solid roller cams, but I don't have enough. I don't build petrol cars all the time, so we're mainly doing diesel stuff, but I said yes to the project, so we'll have to take it on and own it, I guess. So yeah, any comments would be good, suggestions, ideas. The other thing is this is interesting as well, the big end bearings, so we've noticed, we've used a hardened Cleveite bearing, which I know that some engine builders, famous ones on YouTube, don't use hardened ones, but they're talking race cars, 2,500 horsepower. I didn't think it'd be a problem on a street car, but as you can see from where the bearing tag is, I don't know why it's got that, it's like there's a high spot in the bearing or something. And that's not just an isolated one. That one's doing it. That one's doing it. You know, it's on all of them. Well, all of them. On 50% of them. So maybe there's another issue we're not seeing, but perhaps a different bearing will sort that out. But yeah, anyway, a set of lifters, and the block's in good nick, just needs a hone, the crank needs a polish. It's a good thing, the crank. It's survived, just needs a polish. The other thing I'd like to put out there is this timing chain sprocket. I don't know if we should make a spacer here. When you put the damper on, it's only pushing up against that and there's nothing to support it. So, I don't know if people have made spacers. Truck horn, someone must know me driving past. Whether we put a spacer there so it's all sandwiched tight. But yeah, something to think about when we get further into it. Anyway, thanks for watching.